Do you want to see a sexy chart on the endocannabinoid system? Here's a sexy chart on the endocannabinoid system. This is from the recent review, The Endocannabinoid System and Physical Exercise. Let's see if we can get through it in 3 minutes. I'm Lex Pelger. I do canna education for CannA-science, the makers of PlusCBD on the endocannabinoid system. Ask me anything. For the CB1 receptor, of course it does tons of things. It's all over the highest areas of your brain. So it's involved with motivation and reward, your short-term memory, your perception of pain, your motor activity and your coordination, your autonomic nervous system in general, modulation of your HPA axis. So your hormones get somewhat modulated by your CB1 receptor and endocannabinoid system, which is huge and understudied. And also dilation of the blood vessels within the brain themselves. And then lastly, CB1 receptors increase your appetite, as well as your hedonic enjoyment of food. The food actually tastes better to your brain. Next, activating the CB1 receptor does change your heart rate, sometimes up, sometimes down, depending on the person. It does tend to lower people's blood pressure, tends to increase your coronary dilation, and to decrease your contractility. In a lot of ways, the liver is the most important organ in your body. You have lots of CB1 receptors there, and they help to control things like lipids, which makes a lot of sense because the endocannabinoid system is a lipid signaling system. It uses fatty acids for its very fine-tuned control. It also changes your insulin and leptin resistance, which is important for diabetes. It lowers your glucose tolerance, and it also lowers your HDL cholesterol. Then the CB1 receptors do a lot of things in the fat tissues as well. You know about the lean stoner hypothesis? For some reason, stoners tend to be more lean than people who don't smoke cannabis. Well, there's a lot of control systems there involved with your fat. In the muscles, it changes your insulin processing. Maybe there's a reason so many people like using cannabis for exercise. In general, it tends to slow down your GI tract and increase your sense of being full, and maybe this is the reason that so many people report help for gastrointestinal diseases from using cannabis. Then finally, on the immune system, CB1 causes immune modulation, which is a very small word for an incredibly giant complex topic. Finally, the CB2 receptors, which are on every organ of your body and tend to be tied up with the immune system, but they also exist in the brain, especially to protect the brain. When your brain gets insulted by an injury, the CB2 levels shoot up, probably as some way to help protect them. In the heart, the CB2 receptors are very cardioprotective. There's been a lot of research done on this. And also, there aren't a ton of CB2 receptors in a normal, healthy heart, but when it gets injured, those levels shoot up to help protect the heart. They also protect the liver and keep scar tissue from forming upon injury. They help to grow new bones and keep bones healthy with turnover, which is probably why you see the help for osteoporosis that you do from cannabinoid. In the GI tract, the CB2 receptor can lower inflammation. Finally, in the immune system, not only is CB2 anti-inflammatory, it also tends to calm down the immune system, which can be helpful for autoimmune disorders. The widespread nature of these two receptors helps us to explain why we can build giant science archives about how the cannabinoids help in many different directions.